what we want to look at is shape. So when we see shape, okay, when we see that fullness here, and we see this fullness, that has to be inside. Section 1 is the front. I'll section that out quickly. Alright, section 4. Section 4 is the crown. So this is, we're pulling off of these pieces up here. We're going to pull those off. Let's go in closer. Alright. And let's get section 4. So this is going to be the bulk of your height is going to be in section 4. And in the order. So the foundation is underneath, and all the pretty bits, they come back over on top. So if you can understand the foundation, then you're going to understand how to break down photos and how to build your style. So I'm just going to do a little bit of pinching and pulling in this knot. I'm holding on to my ends. I'm just going to do a little bit more pinching and pulling. And remember, we're not going for finished look. So many of you guys get caught up in that the finished look, yada yada. I never like when I'm done. I don't know how to stop. You know, when do I stop pinning? You know, when this, when that, when the client says, "Ooh, isn't that pretty?" And so in the Updo system, I have a way to teach you how to play the head game that gives you success, and the head game on how to just enough get your guests and your clients involved, so you can know when to stop, because when they like it, you're done. When you want to do a one-piece French twist, it's important that you come off before you start twisting. You can twist in either direction, and you can start to come up. And so here's your French twist. And because we're in sections, and because we are not, you know, working with just one big giant bunch of hair, we've got her down into sections. We've got our French twist in one deal. So I'm going to go up into section 4, find my way inside, take this. You can see we got another spot right there. I'm going to just do a little twisting, just do a little pulling right where I'm pinching. I think what I'm going to do, this is a trick I like to do, just kind of hook things together. I make a little space, just hook that in. Okay, drag this over into this area here that I want to be pinned. Spread it out a little bit. And in keeping with the photo, especially right here, you can see those lovely pieces are kind of brought back up in this area. So those are pieces that are from section 2 and 3. Go for the width and the flatness, okay? And then you can they have it nice and clean over her ear. That's the ends. So now I'm working in section 2 and 3. I got all these ends. And let's look at what we've got here in the other section that I brought up. See how that's playing nicely. Going to find a spot for it right inside. And before I detail, I'm going to get the rest of the hair up. What happens is we put up something, and I know this from my years and years of teaching updo classes. We fall in love with something and we still have too much hair left to put up, and then we try to make the rest of the updo so we don't cover up the perfect curl or the perfect thing that we did. So just have just a few details. So when you're working with a client, she sees a photo, she really only wants to see 1 or 2 details. You bring back 1 or 2 details and she's like, oh, it's just like the picture. And that's all that matters. You know, just make her happy with just a couple of little pieces there. And we want to make sure I capture that last piece. Okay, so that's captured. So now I save these 2 little doohickeys that we'll bring back later to mimic the photo. And now we'll just finish building out our shape and our fullness. So I've got my seam right there, right? So I'm just gonna grab. Now what I do is I always like to let the hair speak to me. So where is the hair gonna hit the head? It's gonna kiss the head right here as it bumps, right? It's gonna hit the head right there. So I don't fight with the hair. I let it speak to me. That's why I can make such quick decisions in design, because I've learned over the years to let the hair speak. Basically, she wants the texture, she wants to see a couple of waves, she wants to feel like the girl in the picture. And how I get there, I just work on getting the fullness of it and the shape. Okay, so this is where we are right now. Just trying to mimic that. So we're gonna go up. We see how pretty. We kind of make decisions. Look, where is their balance? Maybe we want to draw this in a little bit closer. Near the look over, the 1, 2, what's going on. I'm gonna just fix my shape. Grab, come back to the head. And I'm falling right in to those pins that were already there. Okay, that helped tighten it up a little bit, like that, because remember, you want to build on shape. You want to build on bulk. You could, at this point, this is how I like to bring the client in and the guest into the photo. So right now, I would say, you know what, the back is coming out gorgeous. Thank you. And I just want to show you, and I would lift this, and I would show her, and I'd show her the picture, and then I said, now I have an option. You know, we've got this beautiful detail here coming off, but by looking at the model, I don't see short bits. That could be Photoshop. She could have some fringe. That could be done somehow. But I can say to my client, you know, the back of your gown is stunning. That photo in the magazine is shot from the front because they want to mimic the fabric and the dress and all that kind of detail up in here. But for you, you know, you're going to the prom, you're going to the wedding. We could leave, I could get this up, but then we could leave this down. It would be so pretty. And they'd be like, oh, that's a thought. Yeah, wow, that is pretty. Okay, let's do that. And so this is how you give your guests an experience that you don't get stuck I'm copying the photo, but you mimic it. And we've decided to bring that up and leave this down just to give her a little bit of fun. Now the model has some beautiful ridging around her face, and let me just bring that in close. This deep ridge here around the face is someone who has naturally wavy hair because it's nice and smooth and the curl starts very close to the hairline. Now that certainly could be done with a curling iron in the beginning where you stick your iron there and smooth it and get that silky glossiness. Perfectly can be done. That's probably how some of that might have been done. In the natural look, you can see how close her kick is to her head. So either that's a really small pin curl that's put in there, or that's her natural wave. And those are just some things that when you want to study the photo, you can kind of like, okay, when it's that close to the head, that looks like she might have some natural curls. So let's see if we can make that ridge right there. So you just work with her, just kind of look, and I wouldn't, this is almost too much hair, and most of the wavy ridge is in the front veil, so I'm going to pull that front veil down, and I'm going to just take this back, and to see, I think what I'm going to do is, let's look at this picture right here, is there's this kind of gathering, and then there's a little bit of a dip. So we're gonna kind of make that section right now.